Welcome to High Ground Podcast. I'm Stevie W.
And Callum.
And today we are going to be looking at the Disney Plus series WandaVision. So what did you think, dude?
Yeah, well, I came into it. I waited till all the episodes were up in a row, and then just sort of binged it over that day and a half. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I actually did laugh at some of the points in the sitcom as well, like the sitcom parts. But yeah, no, it turned out to be something totally different to what I thought was going on. So yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the rest of all these limited series just to fit into Phase 4.
I just want to say, before we go any further, we are going into major spoiler territory. So if you've not watched WandaVision, turn off and come back to us once you've binged it. It's, yeah. I watched it, and I thought when I was watching it, after something like, say, The Mandalorian, where, it's sort of like, bam, here we have it, and it was like every episode left you going, this is like absolutely incredible. I mean, I found with WandaVision, it was such a slow burner. But
yeah.
If you're as emotionally invested in the characters as I am, to me, I liked it. It built it up the story slowly, so you didn't know where you were going. And to me, that represented perfect television because we were coming out at the end of each episode wanting to know more and having theories, and you have to wait for next week to find out if it's right. And I just thought it was brave television, especially if you consider the audience. It would be like, it's bigger than just the core fans that will literally watch every MCU movie and anything that's Marvel TV as soon as it comes out. This is because it's on Disney Plus, and they've got now a bit of a reputation for quality. So I thought it was very slow and very brave.
Yeah, I don't think that another pace would have worked. Like, because, revealing the mystery slightly as it goes along. Like, there was a bit sort of in each episode, wasn't there, where the cracks were starting to slip through. I mean, we all guessed it was something to do with reality breaking down. I mean, my actual thought was that it was to do with Doctor Strange, the next Doctor Strange film, because it was the multiverse of madness. But I mean, it turned out not being that, which I'm quite happy about, because I like when I'm proved wrong, but in a good way. So yeah, no, I agree totally that the pace of it is what sort of contributed to how good it was. Because I think if they'd have sort of given the mystery away too early, it would have, you sort of lose not interest, but when a twist is given away too early, you sort of think, oh well, that's the main sort of driving point's done now, I can relax. Whereas you were constantly on edge with this show, like what was going to happen, switching to the outside world back to, was it Westview?
Yeah
no, I thought it was really perfectly done. Actually, it was totally different to what I thought it was going to be, which I'm always pleased about when something does that.
I completely agree. I mean, one thing I like is the way with Marvel, with the MCU, especially in Phase 1, where you've got Agent Coulson as being your gateway characters. So they use Darcy and Jimmy Woo as our gateway characters. I mean, Darcy from Thor Dark World, and Jimmy Woo from Ant-Man and the Wasp, who I thought, seeing it was when those two are in it, I'm like, yes, this is what you want, because I think Randall Park and Kat Dennings are absolutely fantastic, and that's one thing I like, is they take secondary characters that some people may not remember or even know if you haven't seen Ant-Man and Wasp, and then bringing them, going, yes, and Teyonah Parris as Monica Rambeau.
She was fantastic. I mean, even I was kind of like, I recognized that FBI guy. I'm sure he's been in one of the other films. And then after I IMDb'd it quickly, I realized, I mean, that's quite brave to use like a character that's only been in one film previous. I mean, he wasn't in the first Ant-Man, was he?
No, he's and the whole thing with the magic tricks that he's doing and everything. And I was like, and having, like I said, having Darcy, Jimmy, and Monica in it, you keep expecting someone to turn up from their little part of the universe.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like, you know, that vein of like old style Star Wars where a background character could have their own film and you'd be quite happy. Like I'd love to just see a film about Jimmy Woo, or you know, like whatever Darcy's up to, or you know, even if I mean, we probably might get a film about she's called Photon, isn't she, when she becomes a superhero, Monica Rambeau.
I'm not sure. I haven't
It's
read that,
something like that, isn't it?
but
Um,
I've got a
yes,
question. This is, this is major spoiler territory, so please switch off if you haven't seen it. You know, at the end when the scrolls go to Monica and they
yeah.
point up, who was your? And you said, "Yeah, you got a friend," and they point up. Who was your first? Who did you think of first?
I literally thought it was going to be Ben Mendelsohn.
I thought the first thing that came into my head when the scroll pointed up was Nick Fury, because the last time we see Nick Fury, he's on one of the spaceships.
Yeah, that was at the end of Homecoming, wasn't it? Not Homecoming,
Yeah.
Far From Home. Sorry.
Far From Home, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until afterwards I realized they're probably referring to Captain Marvel.
Yeah, probably, yeah, because she can fly around in space and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it could, like you say, they don't show you, do they? So it could be who you say as well. I mean, I thought they were going to say, like, I thought she meant up, because it was like a cinema they're in, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it cinema or a theater or something?
Theater, cinema.
Yeah, I thought she meant like up on the balcony behind them.
Yeah.
But that's why I thought it was going to be Ben Mendelsohn's character. But
cool.
Yeah, I love it. I think the scrolls are really clever, actually, aren't they?
Especially in Far From Home. I mean,
yeah,
just that reveal at the end. I'm sorry.
The whole film.
Yeah. I think the playing with expectations. You know especially what they do in Captain Marvel. I mean, it shows you that Marvel know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And the casting is always on point. It is. And which brings us to another thing which I thought was, and I think this is pure Marvel at its best.
I know what you're gonna say.
Quicksilver,
yeah.
Maximoff, Evan Peters. That reveal at the end of one of the episodes, and I was like, when you see it coming around, and Darcy says, "Oh, they recast Pietro," and you're thinking, "Wow, this is the big X-Men crossover." So playing with expectations, then you find out that they're just trolling us at the end. They got him back as an actor to play, and just to play a random guy who's been taken over by Agatha, just to mess with Wanda's head. And I was like, wow, that is just pure trolling the fans. Which I know you get the purist, especially. I mean, they did it brilliantly in Iron Man 3 with the 12 rings, and and I thought that was brilliant, and that was that level of trolling, and I thought that was just, as a fan, I thought that was just superb. Saying, "Wow, we've got the Fox X-Men now in the MCU." No, we haven't. They just cast the same actor just to play with us. Yes, I love it when they do that. That's just, to me, perfection.
Yeah, I had to rewind the end of that episode actually a couple of times just to sort of take it in. Because, I mean, they sort of hold on Wanda's face, don't they, when she opens the door? And I thought they were going to end the episode like that. And it just leaves you thinking, who is it? And then when it finally spins around, I just thought, you get out of here. No way. But it was so clever. I mean, I kind of guessed it wasn't him a little bit. Because it seemed way too early for something like that to be revealed.
I was the opposite. I actually thought they were gonna literally, rather than, it's like, I'll describe it like in Iron Man 2 when they did the recasting of Rhodey.
Yeah.
And she just says, "It's me, get over it." I thought they were going to we're going to bring in the X-Men now, but we're going to do it really slowly, then build it up to something. So we've got the groundwork there, so that when we do introduce them, that's it. Then when you find out, they were just trolling us, I was like, that's even better.
Yeah.
That's superb. But I did think that this is playing with expectations. I did think that WandaVision was just going to be a giant advert for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And when it didn't, and I was like, and the fact that they are still setting up, and I think that, with the mid credits and post credits, they are setting up season 2 of WandaVision, it looks like.
I don't know. Is it not a limited series?
It is, but anything can change.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I mean, yeah. They're kind of sort of introducing magic into Marvel now as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
Properly, because I mean, I think in the comics, I'm not a massive expert on the comics, so I may need to be corrected, but I'm sure Wanda is. She uses magic in the comics, doesn't she?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
She's
which kind of like I always think like what really makes her a mutant in the comics? Because they're not going for the mutant thing in the MCU, are they?
Yeah, because they
With
didn't have
her,
the rights to use the term mutants at that point.
yeah. But I mean, I don't know if her sort of awakening as Scarlet Witch now, maybe is this what starts the mutants? Does she activate all the mutants by accident? I don't know.
It's going to be interesting. They will have a game plan.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why I think everyone wants to see the X-Men. I mean, I'm really quite happy with the MCU going the way it is. And when they pop up, and it'll be natural rather than just being forced, which I think is a lot of problems that they do, is they
yeah.
do force. When things are forced, it feels forced. It has to feel like
Well,
natural
DC.
progression. Yeah. I mean, it's like when we see, again, we're on major spoiler territory, at the end of Far From Home, with J. Jonah Jameson's
Yeah,
J.K. Simmons. To me, that wasn't a shock. That was organic. And
yeah.
that's what I like with the MCU. And like I said, with the series, it's all organic and it feels right. So it's not like, oh, we're just going to throw in the X-Men now just to keep a certain section of the fanboys happy.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole Jameson thing, like, we went to see that, didn't we? And
Yeah.
didn't know about that scene. But, I don't know. You said you had an idea, didn't you?
I thought there was only logic to it. There's only who could
Yeah.
play Jonah Jameson's other than J.K. Simmons. So it wasn't, wow. It was
No,
more,
yeah, it was like, yeah, of course. And you
yeah.
kind of feel like that with when they cast Quicksilver. Well, Quicksilver in this, you did kind of think, well, there's no other person that I actually think he was better. I prefer Evan Peters' version of Quicksilver actually over Aaron Taylor Johnson's.
I don't think we were given, Aaron Taylor Johnson was given much of a chance in it.
No, he was kind of just there to die, wasn't he, really?
Yeah. So I would like to actually see him return in some multiverse. It'd be interesting. I mean, and I would love to see. I know it's not going to happen now, but Evan Peters back because I thought he was good, even if he's not a superhero.
Weird that they both play the same character and they're both in Kick-Ass.
Yeah,
isn't it? I rewatched them again recently, actually, and I was like, holy shit, 2 Quicksilvers on screen at once.
I will watch them again soon. We've got them, so it's on our watch list because me and the boss, the fiance, love our superhero movies. So it's and we haven't even we've been discussing this. We really haven't really discussed Wanda and Vision.
No, I mean, it was nice to see Vision again. I have missed Vision because he died at the end of Infinity War, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was nice seeing. It was really sort of mature of them as well to do those episodes where he realizes he's not the true Vision, and he's the one that makes the sacrifice to bring White Vision back to knowing who he is. And I thought that was a really good arc. It's what the real Vision would do.
Yeah, and it's what is the real Vision. It's when he's discussing with White Vision, what is the real Vision?
Yeah,
is real and everything. I was like, wow, and it was a good way of bringing the character back as a different character, not being the original, and having Paul Bettany, who is a day one. I mean,
yeah,
he's
Jarvis, wasn't he?
Yeah, so you've got someone there from day one back, and one thing that I really, I mean, it resonated with me is because of we have a history now with WandaVision, Darcy, Jimmy, and Monica Rambeau. So the core unit, there is a history. What they have found is that I was so emotionally, if any time something was bad, there was an emotion there with me. And it's amazing how much you actually take from because you follow these characters so long.
Yeah.
Even though obviously they had to recast Monica, but if something happens and they're in danger or they do something, there is emotion there. I found even more so. I was more emotionally connected to these characters who I've seen I've probably had spent more screen time with than I have in even The Mandalorian. So it was like, if something happened to the child, it was a shock. But if something happened to Wanda or Vision, there was even more emotion there.
Yeah.
And I found that is absolutely fantastic with what Marvel were doing and the fact that they've built this universe that we care about.
Yeah.
I thought that was superb.
There's quite a lot of subtlety as well. I mean, with the whole Maria Rambeau thing, I didn't realize till afterwards when she's brought back after the it's presumably when Hulk clicks the gauntlet, that scene when you see her come back, that her mum would have died not knowing where she was.
Yeah.
Because of the click. And that's so that got me down for a little bit, actually, thinking that's such a shame. But it was so in the background that it didn't intrude, like a lot of things would have played that off for like a soppy scene or whatever. But, it just shows you that the photo of her on the wall, and that's enough. That's what actually got me thinking, like, oh shit, she would have not seen her daughter before she died.
Yeah.
And they do those moments of subtleties just as well as they do the bombastic battle moments.
Yeah. I mean, whereas a lot of, in the genre is all about the set pieces, there it is characters is at the forefront of everything that Marvel does.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it superb. I mean, again, I'm going to go a prime example is Coulson in Avengers. And that's like, you can't kill off Agent Coulson, Phil. Just after you found out he's got a girlfriend, the cellist, which there is a payoff to that in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I absolutely love. And it's superb. What about Catherine Hahn, though, as Agatha?
Yeah, she was fantastic. I didn't actually see that coming at all. I mean, I knew of the character, but not well enough to sort of deduce that was her. I mean, if you're a hardcore fan, you probably would have saw it from day one. But I think it's nice in that way, having the reveal gradually sort of let out, and then they have that song, don't they, that it was her all along.
Yeah,
it's so good. I mean, everything was done perfectly. Just the moving through the eras of the sitcoms, showing her in the background. It was great.
Oh, that was absolutely superb. She's got a whole new fan base now because of that. She has. She is good. I was like, when that reveal was happening, I was like, nah, that's just, yeah.
Because they sort of, I don't know, they kind of fake you out thinking that I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy that's in charge of Sword.
Director Tyler Hayward.
Hayward, that's it. Yeah, you're kind of thinking he's like bad guy number one, and then they show you who's really behind the whole thing in Westview.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we're going to see him again at some point.
Yeah, I would love to see him going up against S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is S.H.I.E.L.D. not gone now because of Winter Soldier? I mean, not gone, but like Captain America sort of got rid of it, didn't he?
It depends on what universe we're talking and where they decide that because I'd love to see another Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because S.H.I.E.L.D. is back at the end of the season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
All right.
So spoilers, like I said, we're in a spoiler territory. If you're not MCU or don't know anything about Marvel, then yeah. But it's got a really good ending of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and so yeah. So S.H.I.E.L.D. is back. But whether it's going to be in the MCU is another thing. But come on, I'd like to see Ming-Na Wen in an agent. Ming-Na Wen in a Marvel MCU movie, just so that she can lay claim to being in everything that's Disney.
Yeah.
Even if she's just background, just that we know she's there because Ming-Na is in Mulan. She's in the live action Mulan. She's in animated Star Wars, Bad Batch. She's in live action TV Star Wars. So all we need to now is in Star Wars movies and MCU movies, and then she's got the entire Disney everything. Plus, she's a Disney princess as well. On top of
she
that,
is. Yeah. Oh, well, I saw a video about this recently. Actually, Mulan isn't just a Disney princess. Yeah, she saves an entire nation. whereas the rest of them just either beat a witch or get married or whatever. You know, Mulan actually saves an entire nation and is praised by the Empress, so she's more than a princess.
So does that make her the greatest Disney princess ever?
Yeah, well, technically, I mean, calling her a princess is a bit of an insult, really, isn't it? She's like an empress.
That's true.
And she is. Oh no, that's not her. Sorry, I know that was nearly incredibly racist there. I was going to say she was an empress in Star Trek Discovery, but that's Michelle Yeoh, the other cool Chinese woman.
Is she a Disney princess anyway?
No, I don't think so. I just got confused.
She's in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, though.
She is, yeah.
And James Bond.
Yeah.
She's technically British royalty then.
She's equally as cool.
So because she's in a James Bond film, that would make her British royalty.
Yeah.
Because I always say that anything's anyone that's in a James Bond film technically makes them British royalty.
Because he's the most British guy of all time.
Of course, they are the most British films ever made, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, I mean, even though they have that veneer of Hollywood, you can tell. Like, I like the fact that the Broccolis don't sort of interfere in terms of making things American.
Yeah,
and that's always what's kind of helped with that.
Yeah, I do see. That is one property I do just see as British as James Bond. So if you're connected to it,
yeah. So Disney don't buy it.
Actually, I'll be honest. If Disney did buy it, they'd probably keep it the same way because they know what works.
Yeah,
true. Kick up when they bought up Marvel, and they say, "Oh, they're going to Disneyfy it," like they didn't. Although it is kind of good in Ant-Man and Wasp when Michael Penn is whistling "It's a Small World" after all.
Yeah,
like that's why Disney have it, so they can do stuff like that.
I honestly don't remember them buying Marvel. I mean, it seemed kind of quiet, if I remember correctly. It wasn't like the Star Wars buy.
Was that you when you were in your not watching Marvel phase?
I was kind of in and out of it, but when was that? 2013.
Be around about that because it was around about the time you'd be about 12, wouldn't it? You'd be about 12 because when did Avengers come out?
12, yeah.
Yeah. So it was that period.
Oh yeah, because they had didn't they have separate studios for some of them? Like Paramount made Iron Man and.
It was distribution. Paramount was distribution. Universal was Hulk.
Yeah.
But they still had the rights to Hulk. And Marvel Studios was a studio, but just got bought up, meaning it had more money. But it was sold off, and Marvel was sold off.
Yeah.
And it had more money, but they've still kept everything going how it should be going because, like Star Wars, they treat it as a separate entity.
Yeah, which is how it should be done.
Yeah. That's why we have things like The Mandalorian and WandaVision, which, if you're going to argue who the biggest inspiration for all this is the same guy that's been masterminding it all, Jon Favreau. I thought if Iron Man hadn't been a success,
that'd be a different world, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We'd still be getting these sporadic Marvel films that, like we used to get Blade and then we'd get Spider-Man and then we'd get X-Men. Or like not in that order, but like you'd get the odd one every now and again, wouldn't you?
And do you really think we'd have coming the Book of Boba Fett if it wasn't for Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau?
No, I mean they should just be in charge of Star Wars. Period.
I like Kathleen Kennedy, so I'm a bit biased.
I do like her, yeah. Just those two guys are just. It's like if we made a Star Wars series.
Yeah. Not that we'd like to make a Star Wars series, please. That would be really cool.
Oh, I'd love to, yeah. I'd love to just shove some humble pie down those little fans' throats that think everything's shit.
You realise if we were to do a Star Wars TV series or even a Marvel one, we would literally we'd be getting notes back saying, please stop trolling the fans.
Yeah.
So your entire notion of doing this series is to basically alienate this small yet vocal lot. Well, yeah, actually it is. I'm sorry, if you're new to the High Ground podcast, we are not fans of the small or vocal minority that seem to use their opinion to make them look like the majority.
Yeah, the ones that they're like the Jehovah's Witness ones that knock on your door and ask if you found Jesus version of fans on there.
Yeah, the one trying to dictate content.
Yeah, I haven't got a problem with Jehovah's Witnesses there. That's just the only example I could think of. Actually, they're quite polite at your door compared to these cunts.
Yeah, these ones really, these ones are the ones that have YouTube videos and podcasts that basically want you to agree with their opinion.
Yeah, and I'm sure we say this every time, but that they have YouTube videos where they have the toys in the background and dress up as the characters, even though they hate it.
I've seen one where they actually have them in the front, and I'm like, and then you try to work out how much money they spent on a film that they claim they don't like, or TV series they claim they don't like. Then, my favorite ones are the ones that they started. Okay, we're going a bit off topic. The ones that were trolling Mark Hamill over comments he made, and I'm thinking, did you watch Star Wars? But
yeah,
yeah, we don't like trolls.
I've even even been a few people, not trolls, but that with WandaVision, which shows you how quick people sort of switch off now. Where a few friends of mine have said, "Oh yeah, it's just a load of rubbish. It's just like a sitcom." And I think, yeah, but you surely don't think that's the whole series, do you?
I don't get. I don't. I know that I didn't read it because I don't only read the headline. I read the headlines when it comes up, but I don't read the content because I don't want to give power to them.
No,
it's that a lot of people, if I read the headline right, weren't happy that Evan Peters wasn't Quicksilver.
Yeah, but I could say I sort of read the writing on all of that anyway. I mean, only you said you were surprised with it, weren't you? But I don't know, just something seemed off about it, that it was too perfect this early on.
Yeah.
So I prepared myself for the fact that it wasn't him. But I certainly wouldn't have just threw my dummy out the pram.
I don't get it. I don't get it. If you don't like, if you just switch off, just don't be vocal about it.
Yeah.
Don't, because there's always someone out there that likes it.
Yeah, by all means, you can have an opinion.
Yeah.
But it's just when it's shoved down your throat with no evidence. But we are going off topic now, aren't we?
Okay, I'm gonna round it up by saying my opinion is I think it was I think it was a brilliant series.
Yeah.
And it didn't go exactly how I expected it to go, but I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean this in a good way.
Yeah.
And to me, that's perfect television. This is, it's where you don't know what's going to happen every week. And I liked that it was slow. I liked the way it all came together in the end, like a big jigsaw puzzle. It's what Marvel does at its best. And yeah, and I'm glad it wasn't an advert for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, I agree with everything there. Actually, it was intelligent, and it was actually really moving, some of it as well, and it was totally, like you say as well, it was totally not what I thought it was going to be, in a good way. So yeah, no, I just agree. I agree with what you say. Yeah, I think if we get more of the limited series of this quality, then Phase 4 is going to potentially be the best, maybe.
Oh yeah, although it does have big boots to fill with Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, true. But the one film that I'm looking forward to is Blade. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with Blade.
Me, it's Fantastic Four, but I'm a huge fan of Mahershala Ali, so yeah. Blade is going to be. I'm sold as soon as they said Mahershala Ali. I was like,
yeah, same. Yeah,
it's going to be Cottonmouth from the Luke Cage is going to be yes. So this is the High Ground Podcast. This is WandaVision. I'm Stevie W.
And Callum.
Okay, I'm going to now. There's a little supplemental stuff while I'm hoping this records. We've got coming soon. We've got we'll be doing at the end of the series. We'll keep it to the end of the series. We've got Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yay!
That's going to be good.
I'm really looking forward to this one.
Was it you that I was chatting to a while ago who wasn't a fan of Dark World? Not Dark World. No one likes Dark World. Of the Winter Soldier movie.
No, it's one of our friends at work, isn't it? It's not me. I love Winter Soldier. No, I don't like the first one. First
I
Avenger, but I really love Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldiers. I got it.
That's the point where I started liking Captain America again.
I got it. I am as soon as I saw it, I'm a huge fan of the Winter Soldier. I thought Winter Soldier was just. I like the character of Bucky. I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah, I do. And I'll tell you one moment that made me think Captain America's not a douche. Actually, he's cool. When he had the list of films that he's got to watch, and like they're all good films and like stuff. It was like, was it films and TV series to watch? Wasn't it that he missed out on? Yeah. Yeah, that's what just sort of sold me, and I thought, good choice. I like you now.
I gotta admit, I mean, for me, I was sold on Captain America from. I love the original Chris Evans Captain America. I was sitting in the cinema watching it, and it was the first superhero film. Okay, first superhero film that wasn't Cowboys and Aliens that I saw with my fiance at the cinema.
Yeah.
I know Cowboys and Aliens is a superhero movie. And it's Jon Favreau, so it's kind of cool that my first film I saw with my now fiance is a Jon Favreau film because I'm a huge Jon Favreau fan. But yeah, so Captain America has such a soft spot with me. Plus, and this is where I go with real fanboy. I've only met one person connected to the MCU at a convention, and that's David Bradley, who Keeper of the Tesseract at the start. So to go, yes, I've met someone from Captain America, which is I actually wore a Captain America t-shirt when I met him, and it was at a Doctor Who convention. So it was like so that is cool, and I like the character of Bucky. So yeah, and I was blown away by the Winter Soldier movie when I saw it, which was the Russo brothers' first MCU movie. So I was like, yes, this is brilliant. So I'm going to stop recording. So that's a little bit of supplemental material for the YouTube High Ground podcast. I'm CBW.
I'm Callum.